Peace, everyone. Welcome to another sketching session. I am Master Menelek, and as always, we're just going to be getting right into it with our final segment into a final aspiration into values. So far, we've gone over lines, we've gone over shapes and forms, and with values, we can see things getting a little bit more complex and a little bit more. I don't know. It's starting to look like the types of drawings that intimidate people, and then they say, "I can't draw," or "I can only draw stick figures." Peace on the radio. So I just wanted to invite you to join in. Grab utensils, grab whatever you have near you. Peace, sovereignties. Yeah, grab whatever you got near you and just jump in. I'll be explaining what I'm doing as I go. As always, explaining stuff helps you to retain it a little bit more and understand it a bit more, as you're going through with the you feeling good, sovereignties. You had a good Shabbat, you wanna extend it until today. I feel you. I want to rest too, but it's someone Shabbat again. But yeah, man. So tonight we're gonna be exploring the Asaro method, which is a method of not really method, but it's sculpture. The Asaro head is a sculpture that was developed by an artist named John Asaro, and he was I couldn't find much on him in the way of documentaries or biographies or whatever. And everybody usually just gets into the tool he created as opposed to just exploring the person. So I went and looked him up, and some of the drawings and paintings that he would have created, seeing as he was also an instructor at he was an art instructor at a university for a time. So I wanted to know what kind of works of art did he create? If everyone is using his method to study and make their own works of art, right? So I have some of his works loaded up. This is what it looks like. All right, so that's John Asaro. The dude he'd been around, you know what I mean? He was born in 1937, and he was still putting on shows in 2015, so he's spent basically his whole life drawing and painting and creating works of art. I think this is him. This is the image that showed up when I Googled him. So if anyone says that's not him, just let me know. Put it in the comments. So these are some of his drawings. You can see that he has a very loose style, which seems kind of shocking. Once you see the Asaro head, you'll know what I mean if you haven't seen it before. But it's actually much softer and gradual in terms of his color usage and how values change, right? This is another one of his works. Again, you can see those soft edges, very gradual changes between colors and even between planes. But he also displays a very good understanding of the face and how to use colors to I don't know, his colors create a really cool effect where nothing's really defined, but you know where everything's supposed to be. It looks natural, right? And then we have another one. He was famous for painting scenes of his wife and his family at the beach because he's from California, from San Diego. And yeah, this is one. I think I got one more. Right, so this is one more scene at the beach. We'll get into the use of colors a little bit more, which is the next one out. And I'm excited for that one. Because colors, like I'm not the best at using colors. I pick colors and I can use solid colors. I'm all right, but I'm not the best. So hopefully I'll get better when it comes to that as well. All right, so let's get into it. So we'll be looking at three different heads from three different angles. This one would be the first, and I used I'll put the link in the description, but I used a tool that was provided by I can't remember his first name. Y'all know I'm not good with names. Um, his last name is Nguyen, and he created he created a tool on ArtStation, which allows you to stalling while I look up the name. William Nguyen, but he created a tool. Well, I guess I could show it on my screen. Can I share it on my screen? I have to switch it so that you guys can see. But he created a very useful tool that helps you to utilize the Asaro head. And exactly, Sovereignties, the woman's face is a good example. Let me see if I can share my screen instead of just that window. So I'm going to stop the screen. I'm going to share it again. ArtStation. Let me just share this one. Okay, so let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. Yeah, I think you guys can see it. So this is the Asaro head, right? And what he did was he created like these light sources that you can see that arrow in the background, and the arrow points towards it, creates a light source. So it's a short video, and you can rotate the head. But what you can do is you can slide this little slider back and forth. If you're interested in using it, you can slide this slider back and forth. If you would cooperate with me, slide this slider back and forth. There we go. And it'll basically move the light around the figure. And what I like about this Asaro head is it doesn't show the face as we typically think about it, as a rounded object. It shows it utilizing various planes facing in different directions, and they help us to conceptualize how light hits the face, how it bounces off, how it creates shadows, which is very, very useful, especially when you're thinking about lighting figures from various different angles, right? And I just moved it around and took a couple of screenshots, and those screenshots are going to be what we're working with today, basically, right? And he even set it up to where you could use a secondary source of light if you wanted to utilize like reflected light or core shadows or what have you. If you wanted to create very intense shadows down the middle of the face, like the one we were working on last round. But yeah, man, it's a really useful tool. If you want to draw from different sides of the face, you can. There's a light source over there. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to show you all with that one. Let me switch back over. Yeah, it's very very angular, but the link to that that page is going to be in the description below. Let me see. I'll just switch back over to my drawing screen. Okay, there we go. Right, so I took three different screenshots from that page, and I am going to attempt. I'm going to attempt to draw each of them. And the goal of that isn't necessarily to draw it completely accurate, to be completely accurate. The whole goal is to basically get used to the values and putting values down. I didn't take the best of screenshots, but I think it's good enough for what I'm trying to do. I'm going to start with the same method we did last strong, which is a two-tone method. So I'm going to identify where the dark places is, and where the light places are. Where the dark places are, where the light places are, and then we're going to go through and creating it. There are two different ways I can do this. I think the easiest and fastest way would be to trace over it. We'll trace over the first one. Wait a minute. I think I actually got a better, yeah, I got a close up. So this one I can delete. Delete it. Okay. So the first one, I'll trace over it, just so we can get used to seeing the planes. And then the other two, I'll just draw them straight up. Okay, so let me make this one. Let me put this one right here. I don't know what's with me in oranges, but I'm feeling the color orange lately. I'm gonna vector it. Oh man. Okay, so first plane is the easiest to see right here on the forehead. Uh, Maybe I'll make it a little larger. Let's see how that works. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we can see this is a plane here. And I'm going to draw them all really crudely and roughly, just in the interest of time. Okay, I think that's basically it, right? And I don't know, I think I did an alright job for a crude drawing. This part is bugging me though. Yeah, but for the most part, I did a pretty alright job for a crude drawing. And I'm just mapping out the different planes of the head, um, which face towards or away from the light. Um, and I made it so I can just draw it, um, fill it in for myself, right? So I can just grab this, uh, grab this, move it over here. And now I got my replica. All right. And again, I'm not trying to make a replica. I'm just trying to, um, we're just exploring um, the different values. So let's say now, make a new layer. Let's say now we got a color palette, right? Make this white. Right. So we're going to take some of the colors, or I'm doing air quotes. You guys probably can't see me. I'll take some of I don't know why I'm doing air quotes like you all can see me. We're going to take some of the values and we're going to make a palette. And what I want to do is first start with the darkest darks and the lightest lights. And then from there, we can move on to creating other types of values. But I want to keep it between 2 and 5. I don't want to make a crazy color palette because you really, from what I've seen, you really only need 5 values. So I want to hydro, let's say start with the darkest one, which is here. And that will be our first one. That will be a mistake. Should be all right. What are you doing? And I want you to go here. Make this a little bigger. Okay, boom. So that's our darkest color. And the lightest color would be, we'll take this one. So that's our lightest color, right? And in between, we'll have other colors. For right now, those are our 2 colors. And I will lower the opacity. Well, I won't do that with this one. I'll make another layer. I always got a bunch of layers. I'm still not clean as most people. Okay, so we'll start with the values, the darker values, right? So we'll start with our tonal shadows, and we can move and start just coloring in the darker spaces, which would be here. I'm also playing around with different brushes too. That might be better. Okay, so we got there. Here as well. little too big. Got the top lip. What's your name? The white who? The white around your lip. Okay. You got bottom lip. Or at least the shadow, the plane is facing away from the bottom lip. We have the shadowy area over here. And it covers most of this eyelid and a good portion of the actual eye. You know what? I'll cover this whole area in shadow, and we can come back and clean it up since we're doing with two tones. This other area is also covered in shadow. There's some reflected lights as well, but not much. More darkness. Darkness is spreading. More darkness. And there's not too many dark. Yeah, I'm just gonna make this whole thing dark. I'm being real picky with where I put my dark. Let me just spread it around a little bit. Of course, this is super dark. It's probably gonna need to be darker. This is also a shadowy side. I was being a little bit too delicate with the shadows. And in reality, all of this is shadow. Even though it's sort of a mid-tone, it's more shadow than light. So I'm just gonna make it clear that this is facing away from the light. Also a little shadowy here. Shadowy down here. Shadowy over here. And again, it feels counterintuitive because I can clearly see the different shades, right? So it kind of feels counterintuitive to do the two-tone method here. But I'm gonna go for the ride and see where these techniques take me. Most of this is in light. So yeah, a lot of the planes of the face are light. So I'm gonna switch over to my light volume now. And just gonna cover that up real quick. How much? Oh, peace, After Peace, peace, peace. Light, 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 light. Quickly putting in the lights. I realize too, I have a terrible habit of just lagging in certain areas. Like I get so caught up in stuff, I just damn near come to a halt. So, I gotta work that out. I gotta work on that.
The count is 90 minutes. Go money 90 minutes.
So I think I covered the whole face, right? Yeah, I think so. Missed the spot with the block though. Not the prettiest, but I think it does the job, gets the job done. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna, is this the one I was drawing on? I think it is. I think I was using something else. It's this one. So I up the opacity, and I can even hide this one. And look at that. So this is a very crude, with a capital C, a very crude value study, right? All right, here we go. All right, I can't do that on this, can I? Where did I put palette? Whatever. I'll use this one. Value study. And the importance of having a value study is, it's almost like sometimes you may see a portrait artist, they'll have their image or their figure or even a person sitting in front of them, and they would have two drawings. They would have a larger drawing that they're working on and a smaller drawing, which has like mostly just values, and it may look something like this. And the purpose of a value study isn't necessarily to try to render the person perfectly, but it just lets them know, okay, this is where the values roughly go, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to look as crude as this one does either, because it typically includes the other values that I'm going to start putting in now. Let me erase that. Okay, so to continue with our value study, I'm going to bring this back, bring the opacity back down, and I'm going to play around with other values. Okay, so I have 2 so far, and I get 3 more. I want to use 2 more, but I get 3 more. So I'll use this one as another one. Let's put this one in the center. If you can see it. Yeah, put that in the center. And we have the darkest one. I want one more. Let me see something now. So there's actually 2 tones in this area. There's one here, and then there's another one here. Nah, that's a waste of a tone. And that's down here. So I can use this one. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we got 4 tones in now instead of 2. And of course, the one that's closest to the darker one is I'm going to start with that one first. It's easier to clean up the darker shadows than to come through with light. I don't know what the science is behind that exactly, but just like in Bereshit, right? In the beginning, everything was dark, and then you start moving to the light and organize all of those dark, shadowy figures. Another plane here. I'll cover it with that for now. Another plane here. think that might be it for this one. Let's move on to our slightly lighter tone. Might come back to that one. I don't know though. This one seems to be more like so. And this is how it looks for me. Of course, on your side, you're gonna be just altering the level of pressure that you're putting on your page. If you decide to join in. Yeah, that one works better. Okay. Well, I think that's it for that one. Let's see. Got this going on over here. Yeah, I think that's about it. All right, so warm up done. I only use 4 tones. Maybe I can use the darker one more. And that would just be for the actual shadow. Well, let me not do that. It looks light to me, but it's probably going to be much darker when I do this. Yeah, much darker. Okay, without the orange lines, you got this, right? So that would be a rough, very, very, very rough value study, right? But this is what this is what the Asaro head helps with. It helps you to map out not only map out, but also to organize different values so that you can see where some can vary slightly from others based on where the light source is. And I can see just one or two more little touch-ups. This is bothering me, only because it's bothering me. Okay, that's better. Okay, so the first one is done. All right, we'll move on to the next one, which is going to be trickier because I won't have the orange guidelines to help me. So I am going to hide this, and I'm also going to hide this. Huh. I didn't even realize I left them there. Yeah, it looks like I can't copy and paste. I'll let her do that later. Like I said, right now I'm going to hide those. I don't know what these are. Hide those two. And I'm going to open up a front plane view. And this one may be the last one that we get to go over. Hopefully, those of you who are tuned in, give thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you are able to join in and get something out of it. I know this looks, to me, it looks technical and intimidating. So, yeah, if you don't join in, if you do join in, it's your prerogative. I'm just looking at these different planes on the face. All right. So now is an exercise where I have to really pay attention to what's going on. First thing I'm going to do is create another color palette, in which I'm going to hijack this one. And I'm going to take my darkest value again, which looks like it is here. I'm just going to cover that darkest value there. Then my lightest value, I'll take from here. That's the obvious choice. And I'll cover this one. So this would be my new lightest value. And notice how the light changes the value, right? And this isn't, the darker value is not black. It's just an extremely dark blue. So if you're ever painting and you're gonna mix paint, try to use dark blues instead of blacks, or light blues instead of grays. I'm trying to see like where do I start? You know, I'll just start. Let's see. Nope, not that one. I need the dark one. So I'll just do very broad strokes first. Or I can make this less intimidating. Do a very quick luminous head. So I'll put the top of the head up there. This will be the bottom of the ears, and top of the brow ridge. I know it looks like I'm going off script. This is just to make it feel a little less intimidating to me, because I'm plotting different planes on the face just to get a better understanding of what is going on here. Yeah, this ain't scripted. Like, I don't draw the thing and then come through with my YouTube voice. Like, hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm gonna show you. Nah. This is, as you're learning, I'm learning. So there's no, and willfully me being willing to screw up in the front of you makes it less intimidating. Okay. It's a little bigger. I think that shadow goes over there. That shadow goes over there. This is the bottom of the ears. This would be the top of the ears. And notice I'm doing what I typically do too. So this is really good practice in terms of noticing what my mistakes are. Okay, so my first mistake is typically I get the proportions of the nose all wrong. It's either too small or too close to the mouth. Second thing is it's similar for the eyebrows and the eyes. And the third thing is I draw the face as though it's like this. Like, this is the front plane, and then these are the side planes. Right? And I draw the face too flat, which often creates issues, and I gotta go back and fix it, and it takes a lot longer to draw a face than it should. So with this Asaro head, it's showing me, okay, no, all you need to do is look at the brow ridge or the glabella, the section right here. I'm going to draw something else now just so it can be a little easier to see. No. Yeah. I'll go with the light one. So you can see here, because I have this very well-defined geometric shape, it becomes a little easier to map it out, right? And it probably help if I did something like this. Just to establish the center line of the head. Actually, I'll do this so I don't regret that later. I'll do the center line on a different layer. Right, that way I can always remove it. Now that I have my center line, I already know this is off. And the beautiful thing about sketching is, and this is for any time you pick up anything to draw anything, and maybe you have something that's the equivalent to sketching in whatever. Whoa, the speed racer! In whatever discipline you may practice. Like in Manaya, I know that you crochet. So whatever the equivalent to practicing is when you crochet, you already know that it's just practice. And it doesn't need to look awesome or like you know exactly what you were doing the first time. Because quite frankly, this is the first time I'm doing this. Right? Why did that just rotate? I didn't ask you to rotate. Thank you. Rotating erasers. Didn't even know they had those. But yeah, don't be afraid to try something out, do something new. Especially if it's in front of people, because I know that's the scariest thing. We worry less about our performance and more about how people would think we perform. I'll say this one starts and ends around here, and there's this like slight slant, and then it goes straight up. Same slight slant, goes straight up. Close that one off. Then there's another shape here. I'm gonna do this because my feet are so. And then we have this other plane coming out here. And this one is very crucial because it determines how flat the face is gonna look. Right? So I can't do that because that's not the width. I'm actually gonna reduce the size of this brush a little bit. Too small. 35 should do it. Yeah, so I'm gonna reduce the size of this brush, come down again, go a little bit out, more outwards this time, and then connect that. And I'll do the same for this side here, which has a slight curve to it.
Is that Kizzy?
Yeah, the background music sounds like sitting in someone's Honda, some foggy windows. But I ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah. All right, so now we have the I said turn it off. Let's mess with it. Now we have the eye socket, and what we'll notice here is this bridge here is a little, and I'm again the object of this was not to make a perfect drawing, but I am seeing that a lot of my construction could use some tweaking. This is also helping with proportions too. This is a really useful tool. So let's say that's where the light is. So your eyes are right, and that's helping me out a lot. So I'm going to switch back to the dark because I'm actually supposed to be using the two-tone method right now, and I'm cheating. by rendering when I shouldn't be. All right, so I'll go back to the original plan and switch back to the dark tone. But I was like fumbling around in the dark to feel my way through this. So, thanks for bearing with me. It's practice every time for me. Right. Exactly, Anaya. And then I'm soft Anaya. It's practice every time. It's the same for me. Even when I'm doing like work for clients, I still feel like I'm practicing. I'll remove some of this, make it a little less confusing. Yeah, that Lumens is always in my back pocket on the radio. A little bigger. So I'm going to try again without too many guidelines. I'm really awestruck when I see artists like they just whip out a pencil or pen and they just start adding in values. Like they don't draw no outlines, nothing. They just got values going on. But slow and steady, right? Now look at what people can do. Look at where you're at, how you can improve. So that's this thingy going back from the eye. This one's aura. Make sure I do the shape justice. Yeah, it's definitely gotta be smooth. I'm very wary of how I'm shaping this face right now. I think zooming out to compare it with the other faces was causing me out. So let me just zoom in and look at the values. This is too small. This needs to be wider. Yeah, that needs to be wider. I never knew there were so many plane changes in a face. Yeah, I drew this too thin. That's what happened. Much too thin. And it starts with the bottom of the nose. That's good. Look like handsome Squidward. Yeah, this is much too thin. I think I started much too small. I was afraid of space. And I just shrunk it too, so that don't make it no better. But I think I am too concerned about final product, even though I said I wouldn't be. And that's what threw it off. I gotta do some skull studies too. Yeah, this is reminding me of how many different angles are in a human skull. We don't see it because it's covered with all that doughiness. So this would be the nostril. And that would mean these eyes are too close together. And this should be in alignment with this, who we were talking about earlier. And this eye is too close. So that's what I keep trying to conform everything to. Yeah, that's too close. But I could easily wave it in. There we go. Feel a little better. That's the chin, that's the mouth, that's the drop shadow from the nose and the nostril limb. And it falls right above the mouth. It should align with the center of the pupil, which we learned in our previous lessons. Well, I was learning my lessons and taking you along for the ride. And this is where this plane should go here. Similarly, this plane will go somewhere around here. And this goes out a little more. Yeah, so all of this is showing me different corrections that need to be made in my thinking, because I'm obviously fighting between habits and what's actually going down, like what I'm actually seeing. So this is the beauty and value of sketching. And this is why you need practice. I'm trying not to do the whole mask my practice and show you my highlight reel thing. Look at what I did. It only took me 3 days. So this would be shadow under the chin. And that would create this contrast upper chin. And there's the chin. Look like he got 2 lips. I feel like I can make something cool out of this. Okay, so you can see there his jawline does not allow for me to connect this bigger part at the bottom to that very small thing up top there. I'm gonna just continue adding in values. You know what it looks like. But it's helping me with muscle memory as well. Fix that. Chin is more chinny. Cheekbones more cheekbony. Skull more scully. Okay, cool. And I'll actually move to the light part. And I'll two-tone this one. This one is honestly a disaster. And we'll move on to the third one. So I learned a little from sketching with the training wheels. And I know how I feel with the training wheels off for the first time. But I'm still going to go through and do my value studies because I need to have a firm understanding of how these planes change and how to express it. This one is as you can see, I'm also attempting to fix them as I go. On some Squidward. Okay, yeah. So I got a little bit more understanding from this one. Not the prettiest. I'm not gonna go to the other planes. In terms of the midtones, I am going to save this one and move on to the next one. Okay. See if we got any better luck with this one. And I'm trying to quickly move through this too because I'm watching time. And yeah, I got a couple of minutes. Okay. So I've seen that the Loomis method can help with mapping these things out. First thing we're going to do, of course, is I'll just use my own. I'll use a new palette. There we go. Darkest color right here. Lightest color is right here. And I'll do all one time. Medium gray. Yeah. Close to the white. Here. And do one in the middle. Well, these shadows are radial, so I'll have to do this one. Yeah, so imagine these two switch places. Okay, so now that that's done, where should I start? I'll start with the Loomis method, since that just feels the most natural to me at this point. So draw my circle. From the circle, we have our thirds, from third to third, right? Just making sure. That's the center there. And we're actually going to put our eyes right here. Nose is going to be, our eyes actually need to go up higher. Brow ridge a little bit higher. And you got big head. I remember I used to work at a resort. One of the guests used to keep saying that. That was this whole thing. You got big head. Okay, so this is your nose. Since these thirds are a little spaced out. Yeah. The mouth is about here. Chin is down here. Center line about here. You know what? I'll do the same thing I did with that other one. Yeah, I can continue like this. Center line is about here. Okay, so I got a basic shape of the head as a guideline. I'm just gonna lower that opacity and draw in a way that's a little less intimidating. And I'm gonna change this just to make sure I can see it. Mm-hmm. So all of this top part, looks like I have a habit of neglecting. Let me pull this a little bit. But yeah, I have a habit of neglecting the top part of the head, I'm realizing. And this method is really forcing me to acknowledge it. Yeah, I'm erasing this just so I can see what's going on with the shapes of these plants. all this is non-existent right here. There's a shape here, and then it curves upward. Alright, so I'm on my way to avoiding making that same mistake I made with the last example twice. I think I'm doing all right. All right. That's not right. Okay, so you can see where the issue is, right? This is supposed to come up here, and that starts that part of the face. I think it's off just a little bit. Wasn't that bad? All right, let's see how we work this together. This is a long plane. Obviously, I messed up some measurements. I don't know why, but I measured really well top to bottom, but not so well side to side. It's another observation. It's helping me a lot with all those measurements that we were talking about in previous segments and seeing where I have been messing up. Look at this. See how. So this head is way too thin up top compared to the way it looks at the bottom. So another aspect that I'm learning I need to fix. Not fix, but improve upon. Fix means to make it stay. I don't want it to stay. I want it to get better. I don't think it's that off because I've been following these planes relatively well, but it's still pretty off. And look at that! I missed this part here. I can't even draw on top of it. But this is supposed to go up and then back. If you can see it, if you can see this. So I missed that plane there, and that threw the whole backside of the skull off. So that then goes up there. And okay, it's relatively okay. But that little tweak slash improvement that also points out where some mistakes were made. The air doesn't exactly meet with the nose. Okay, I think this rendering of the side of the face is just a little bit better than the last one. The last one was pretty high. I do say so myself. Okay, so let's go with these values now, and afterwards we can sort of wrap it up. Well, I'll stick with that one since I was already on it. You're the lightest color, so you are going. I'll make this a little larger. Is this on it? I think so. Oh no. Nope, 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 nope. Stop all that madness. Stop it. Yeah, I'm on it. What the? Can you get out of my life? What are you doing? I don't know how to delete this. Just go. And it just comes right by. Yeah, you go over there. You stay over there. I ain't no time for you right now. To tell you, I don't know. I don't deal with this program much. Okay, so we got there, which is a big block. We got here, another big block. It's a small shape. Small shape there. And in the center of the lip. And down here. Over here. Small piece over here. And yeah, in the interest of time, I won't do the two-tone. I'll just go straight in with the various shades. You would be next. And you are covering. Let me see something. Oh ho ho. That's what was happening here. Okay. Let me get it. Get rid of all of the blue. And all that's left is the colors, the actual colors. Because I had those colors muted, toned down, everything was toned down. But it doesn't matter that much. I'm not too far into it. So I knew it was looking off. This is how it's actually supposed to look. No, not you. You. I think that's it for highlights. We got you over here. It should actually be bigger now that I'm looking at it again. This shape. This shape should also be larger, like so. Notice the difference between when I go from light to dark, when I go from dark to light, and when I don't use the two-tone method, everything sort of blends together. So rather than continue with that, I'm just gonna make a mid-course correction. Yeah, so now I know for sure. At first, I was just doing the two-tone method because that's what the tutorial said. Do the two-tone method. But now I'm sure. Okay, you do the two-tone method because well, they actually said because you want to separate lights from darks. But now I definitely know why. That was getting confusing. A little bit under the chin. And I think we can move on to the other darker value now. So all of the mistakes, this is interesting. All of the mistakes that I'm warning against, because I was warned against them, they pale in comparison to actually making the mistakes. See it exactly why I was warning against them. I definitely got to practice this some more. I'm gonna get him. What are you doing? This feels like deja vu from the last one too. Maybe I'll get quicker over time, but I'm right here wishing I had more time to do this. Obviously, I can spend more time on it um, off air, but I don't want to rush fundamentals. And if you don't rush them, get a good foundation. Don't have to worry about learning them the second time. Okay, so I think I made every single mistake there is to be made. I think. Okay, so that's another quick Asaro. Let's see what the results are. Oh, look, don't have to see results because I didn't use training wheels. So I think this one turned out relatively okay. We have Asaro number one, which was these guys. Excuse me. These two. Number one, right? And of course, they had training wheels. And then we have number two. I should probably skip number two. I'll show it. Ugh. But it was starting to get there. I think if I spend more time on it, it'll get there. But that's number two. And we can see here my issue was primarily proportions, right? So I got some luminous head um, practice to do. And there's actually another method I didn't realize I was using. Um, it's called the Riley method. And we were using it when we were talking about, if you remember, the relationship between different facial features. Um, for example, the eyes are supposed to line up with the edge of the nose. The tear duct is supposed to line up with the edge of the nose. The outer corner of the lips is supposed to line up with the center of the iris, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so I got to go back and revisit those lessons so I don't draw any more handsome Squidwards. And of course, we have door number three, which doesn't look too bad in terms of values. I'm gonna have to practice the shading um, on this device because I'm typically just used to using pressure to shade. So that's something I gotta get used to. But using colors to shade is something that I also have to get used to because of starting colors next round, right? So I don't even know if y'all. Yeah, so that's it. And I made the 2 hour mark that I was looking to make. So yeah, that has been the Asaro head, and it's definitely helping me with playing changes because I'm realizing it's an area that I'm weak in, which is why you sketch because you try out different things, different methods, different techniques, and they show you where you're weak. All right. So, willfully, this has been informative, whether you're coming through live or on the back end, years from now. Willfully, this helps. Peace, everyone.